Okay, my dear students, welcome to a short but awesome class of digital art. In this case, this will be a short part of digital art part 2. Having in consideration that we already saw in class the first part of it. To start with it, I thought of using some classic music in the background. But let's face it, that's not me, so let's scratch that. Okay, let's think of something more my style. Yep, this one, that's perfect. Okay, so to start with explaining or talking about digital art, the theme that we're gonna talk about today is, or we have to remember the additive and subtractive process from which we already talked. By the way, this presentation is not going to be posted, so you have to take notes as usual. The good thing is that if there's some text here that you're going to be looking at, if you need to copy it exactly, well, you can just stop the video and, well, copy. Either way, my advice to you is that you take notes. I'm gonna try to talk as slow as I can, and well, whatever, and as clear as I can. Okay, so talking about the additive and subtractive process. Remember that we said that the additive process is a process in which we're gonna take the light and we're gonna use it. Use it for what? To manipulate colors, okay? And this process was done by adding light to what colors, you may ask? Well, you have the answer, right, Dante? Because I know you're falling asleep right now. To RGB, which is red, green, and blue. Exactly. If I add light to those three colors, the process is going to give me another range of colors, which are, which ones? Cyan, yellow, and magenta. Also remembering that this process is going to give me what we call white, which represents, in this case, light. Also remember that we talked about how this process works with who? A monitor, exactly. And that's why monitors and computers are, and this is something we're going to talk about a lot more in the next class, the programs in the computers, okay? Then we have the subtractive process, which is basically the opposite. And as the name says, I'm going to subtract the light. I'm going to take the light from those colors I produce, which are cyan, yellow, and magenta. And of course, I'm going to go back to RGB, which is red, green, and blue. Also, I'm going to obtain something similar to, oh, I got a text. Good. Something similar to what we call, or what we believe represents the color or darkness. Darkness, which is the black. That's why, remember why it's not CMGB. Why? Because black cannot be represented as part of those groups or those colors. Black is no light, so is the key to obtain the other colors. So that's why it's called key, and that's why we have RGB, additive, and CMGK, subtractive process. Really awesome, teacher, you're awesome. Also, you got to remember that the base of digital art is how artists have always been fascinated by the effects of light. This human attraction to light has led to the development of art forms that go beyond two-dimension paintings, okay? That's majorly the reason why digital art is created. And one of the we're gonna talk about two medias or two ways to create art today, and also two very important artists that are a big part of the development of digital art, the early digital art. The first one is called photography, okay? Photography and video, both of them. Well, separated, photography and video. But we're going to talk both of them. What we're going to talk about is two forms they were used or are used today. Photography and and video, it's basically this discussion of light and light media begins with considering ways or innovative ways for the artist to use medias, in this case photography, video, and digital media, of course. And what's the idea? Well, to create artworks, okay? So this discussion of or fascination for light is gonna lead to create or consider ways to create artworks, okay? And that's when photography or photos and video are put in the picture, to call it away. They're gonna be important in here. So basically, what's a photo? It's a still image, something that is not moving, and something that is captured in just 1 second. Remember what we talk about impressionism? Well, basically, a camera is based, and all the pictures you guys take, all the dumb selfies you take every day, every minute. Yeah, says the guy who has the the Instagram full of pictures of myself. Good. Well, but that's because I'm awesome, so don't pay attention to that. Okay, so every time you take a picture, and the idea of a picture, a photo, is basically based on impressionism. Remember that the impressionist artist said or thought that we should always take one picture of one image from 1 second of light. I mean, the light hits an object, and that exact second he wanted to express, he wanted to paint, in this case an impressionist, he wanted to paint exactly what he was seeing. Remember that light moves, that light changes, and that changes what? Yes, Marco, good, you're not sleeping. That changes color. So basically, that principle is what the camera uses. In this case, the camera is gonna take, or the pictures or the photo is gonna be that exact second in which the light hit an object and reflected a color, and it's not gonna change somehow, okay? So what we're saying is basically a photo, again, it's a still image of the camera capturing an exact second of how light hit an object, reflected something, in this case a color, and of course that light is going to also give us perspective, values, shadows, and everything, making it that's redundant, making it a 3D image, okay? And then what is a video? It's a simple series of still images that get together, and with that they create motion and movement, okay? And that also creates a sense of depth and what we call the fourth dimension, which is basically having an image moving in front of our eyes, okay, in a flat surface. So, having those two clears, again, a photo is a still image and a video is a simple series of still images that creates a sense of depth, movement, and the fourth dimension, okay? Having that clear, we can talk about the two ways or formats that we have. The first one is really simple to understand, and I guess you're reading the definition. Yes, Alfaro, I cannot answer right now the questions, but you can ask, I don't know, later. Okay, so the first one is analog format. Okay, I'm going to read the definition because I'm pretty sure you guys are going to understand perfectly what it says there. It's a non-digital system that embeds electromagnetic impulses from varying wavelengths onto sensitized tape, film, or another storage unit. So I guess I can move on because this is simple to understand. Okay, I'm imagining everyone looking at me really weird because no one gets anything. Okay, what's analog? Analog is the first, the first and basic format of recording, okay, or taking pictures. Basically, it's a process in which, without any digital system, the camera or the video camera, it's gonna capture a moment, okay? It's gonna capture light, and this is what we talk about, electromagnetic impulses. It's gonna capture those how do we call it? well, that light bouncing from the object, and he's gonna take them and he's gonna synthesize. I'm sorry, I can't with that word. I'm sorry. He's gonna put them. I'm sorry, I'm gonna change that later. He's gonna put them on a tape or a film. Okay, in this case, like the ones you have in front of you, a picture of a camera roll. Okay, which is gonna be revealed through a process that I'm gonna explain in class, because if I make it on a video, I'm gonna last like 3 hours here. So basically, again, an analog format is a system that is non-digital. Okay, nothing is digital in this system, and he takes these electromagnetic impulses, which are the light bouncing from the object, reflecting light, reflecting figures, reflecting shapes, reflecting forms, reflecting values, and all of the principles that you guys love, and he's gonna take them and put them, or reflect them, or print them on a tape, a film, or another storage unit, which later is going to be taken to a dark room or whatever process I'm going to explain in another class. Okay, and that's the analog format. It's the primary format that was used, and well, I have nothing else to say about that. So that leads us to the other important system or format, which is the one you guys who are born in like 5 years ago. Digital system. What's a digital system? Remember that we talk about the binary numbers and systems and how a computer reviews or understands a color? Well, this is basically the same. Uses a binary system that processes words and images directly as numbers or digits. Remember that we already talked about this. The benefit, basically, of digital video or pictures is that it can be imported into a computer, where it can be altered, refined, and shared with others on the internet, pen drive, cell phones, and whatever, I don't know, you take it. So what we're saying is that digital system is created, and take notes of this, please take notes. My English is... maybe I'm too comfortable with the German thing, but whatever. Please take notes, because many of the information is not, as you can see on the presentation. So, basically, digital system is the system that is gonna be created based on the need of editing, of making things simpler. Okay, that's what technology is about. Remember what we talked. Technology is about making things for dummies, okay? Making it more simple, making it more practical to use. So this is digital system. Basically is that, and we already talked about how the binary system works. Remember that. If you have any questions, well, Google it. No, I'm kidding. You can ask. Okay, so when cameras became easy to use and available, because they were really expensive when they started, this dramatically changed art, okay? The artist was empowered to freely explore their personal thoughts and feelings. For example, you guys, when you want to express how awesome you can be, or how awesome, or the awesome things you have, you can take a picture of your teacher, and that's showing people. You can put it on Instagram and share with them. Or when you have those photographer moments where you take pictures of I don't know, something, a cat or whatever, and you post them. It's a way of expressing yourself, and that power of exploring and sharing your thoughts and feelings, it's thanks to digital art. Why? Because now we have, or you guys as artists, you have the opportunity of communicating through pictures, through videos, through drawings made in a computer with Photoshop or whatever. So yeah, you have, I mean, remember that we talked about the benefits of being able to control light in a computer. Well, an artist is always going to enjoy, copy this, always is going to enjoy pushing limits and making novel discoveries, okay? So, pushing limits and making novel discoveries. I mean, it's like you have no roof, or you have no limits right now, so you can push and you can try things and you can explore things, and this is something achieved by digital art. This is why digital art is so important, okay? Or it's so a big deal. Okay, so don't worry, we're almost finishing. I'm gonna talk about two persons. Okay. Oh dear God. Well, two important artists who are going to develop, who are going to be important trailblazers, okay, pioneers, to call it another way. So the first one is Sonia Landy Sheridan. She was born in 1925, and she will die in the future because she hasn't died. She's like 92 or something like that. She hasn't died so far. I don't know. Okay, she was a trailblazer or a pioneer who began experimenting with emerging technology in the 60s. Okay, and in her case, she was experimenting with a color photocopier. Okay. She was trained in traditional media, what they had till that moment, and she taught at the School of Art of the Art Institute of Chicago. In there, she's going to start experimenting with many kinds of media. Remember that when we say media, we're talking about ways of expressing, like cameras, computers, video cameras, cell phones, whatever. In that case, she didn't have a lot because we're talking about, well, a long time ago. So she started experimenting with many kinds of media, and one of these experiments led to the earliest form of computer graphics software. And she did it working with her former student, John Donne. What she did basically is the following. Many of the programs you have today in your computer, like Windows Player, for example, when you're watching a video, has it ever happened to you that you're watching a video and somehow or at some point, for some reason, you have, I don't know, you're watching all the natural colors, and then, I don't know, it looks like a mistake or an error, and it changes color for a second and then goes back to the color, or when it hasn't loaded perfectly, you see some pixels or some colors that are not working as they should. Well, all of that is called in a computer a bug. Okay, a bug is an error in the computer, something that is not working well, and every program has bugs. Instagram has a lot of bugs. Well, the website has a lot of bugs, and all of them are different. What Sonia Landy did, she realized, like, as I'm telling you, a program of video of pictures that she was using just to show pictures, she realized a little bug that changed the color. So she said, if that mistake, to call it different, not bug, a mistake, if this mistake can change the color in a computer, why not use it? So basically what she did, she took that bug, that mistake from that program, and she used it to create another program that now can change colors and figures and pixels in a computer, okay? So from a mistake of a program, she made another program that could do all of this. Many of the programs that we have today are based on Sonia Landy idea, okay, or experiment. Okay. So have that clear, please. Do not get it misunderstood, okay? If you have any questions, you can text me. So basically, this bug allowed her to manipulate color or video or pictures in a computer. The next guy I'm gonna talk about is David M. He was born in 1952 and he's still alive. Okay, he was trained as a painter. His mom was a painter, but David M. became an electronic media artist, okay? And he's known for his awesome imaginary 3D landscapes that are made with a computer that are completely artificial, okay? Why is this old dude important? Because one day he was bored, he was walking, and he was, I don't know what he was doing. I don't have the details. But he found an old discarded color TV, okay? You know these really old TVs that had like 3 knobs on the right, and if not, you can look up. No, how can you know? You're like you were born like 5 years ago. Well, before the TVs, we didn't even have remote control. So if you wanted to change a channel or anything, you had to like change it directly on the television, okay, with some knobs, okay. And one of the knobs all of the TVs had. Now it's an option when you in the monitor when you play with the options menu and stuff with the remote control, is to change the hue, saturation, and brightness. Well, this guy started playing with the hue, saturation, and brightness. But you guys remember what's hue, right? I'm not gonna have to repeat that. And by doing this, he realized he produced a range of extraordinary colors. So he created a lot of colors directly on the monitor, okay? So he shared his result with another electronic artist, Larry Templeton, and they designed and produced one of the first image processing systems, okay? Now David M. and his buddy Larry Templeton were capable of manipulating and creating infinite colors just by playing with the hue, saturation, and brightness. And why is this important? Well, for example, all of the programs I'm showing you right now use these principles. And you have the prices, by the way. I don't know why you have the prices in that picture. Well, maybe I took the picture from Amazon or something, because that's not the price. Well, it's CS6, that's all. Okay, whatever. It says classes and stuff. Well, what I want you to see right there is the names and the logos. Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Dreamweaver, After Effects, Premiere Pro, Flash, Conquer Encore, and Adobe Audition. All of those programs and many other programs that work with digital art, with creating art in a computer, well, are based on Sonia and David M. principles, okay? So, well, having that clear, what are we going to talk next class? You may ask. Maybe you're desperate to know what we're going to talk about in the next class, right? I'm pretty sure of that. Well, what we're going to talk in the next class is what you can actually produce with these programs and the different things we can produce with these programs. So I have a lovely, lovely homework for you, which I'm going to post in this, or no, not in this video, but I'm going to post in my blog. In the school's blog and my blog, which is more popular. But either way, I'll post it in both blogs. And you're going to love it, believe me, you're going to love it. It's a photography project, okay? Well, I hope that everything was clear enough. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, this 23 minutes presentation. Either way, I'm going to... if you have questions, if you have anything, please email me. Try not to write on the blog, because not always I get noticed when I have a new comment or something, so it's kind of hard. Well, I just leave you with my awesome picture of the digital art thing, and hope you guys take care a lot, because it's been a couple of rough days, and well, I'll see you soon at school. Peace out.
Wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!